Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next episode of Pack Help Talks. For those of you who are with us for the very first time, let me just give you a brief introduction to what we're doing here. Pack Help Talks are live meetings where we talk about packaging, sustainability, design, but also about thriving industries that are now growing rapidly in e-commerce. And actually, this will be the topic of our today's meeting because we'll be chatting with amazing guests that I will introduce shortly about a global phenomenon which is called or known as K-beauty. For those of you who don't speak the beauty lingo, this stands for Korean beauty and obviously describes booming phenomenon of Korean cosmetics growing popular globally. Now, I'm not an expert in this. I'm just a host, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you. My name is Magda, and I'm part of Pack Helps team, and I will be hosting today's meeting. But as I mentioned earlier, we have special guests who will tell us everything about K Beauty. And for that, we have invited Christina and Sophia from GLOWID. Now, let me invite them to the stage and see if we can hear you. Hi,
Hi.
Christina, can you hear us? I think I can't hear you. Maybe you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now,
Yes, she's back. Okay, lovely ladies. It's great to have you with us today. I shortly mentioned the topic of our meeting today, but can you give us a brief info, a brief introduction on what you're doing and what GLOWID is doing, the company you both represent?
yes. So my name is Sophia, and I'm the head of sales at GLOWID. So we are a distributor and e-com for Korean beauty in the Nordics, and we also have a distributorship in some other countries in Europe and UK. So we handpick the best Korean brands and sell them on our own webshop, glowid.se, and also sell to retailers in Scandinavia, as for example, Skin City. And
Oh,
Christina.
wow. Christina, and what's your role at the company?
Yes, I'm sales and logistic manager at GLOWID. I've been for 1.5 years now, I think. Feels longer. Yeah.
All right. So we have two amazing guests who can talk anything you want about Korean cosmetics. So if you have any questions about what is trending, what brands we should follow carefully, then do let us know. Just ask a question in the comments and I'll be taking them. But just to give an introduction to the topic, maybe for those who are not so familiar with K-beauty and cosmetics in general. While preparing for the meeting today, I digged in that Korea is the third biggest cosmetics exporter, and they fall shortly after France and United States. So I was quite impressed about that because, I don't think they have such a huge and long history in exporting. So, to start off our discussion today, I want to ask both of you, why do you think Korean cosmetics are growing so popular among international audiences?
I think, first of all, the history of beauty and beauty products in Korea is very, very long. Both men and women have their own routines. For example, here in Sweden, I have to force my husband to moisturize in the winter, but in Korea, men also have a 5, 6, 7 step skincare routine, and they learn very young to take care of their skin and to be conscious with SPF, etc. And there are over 22,000 cosmetics brands in Korea. and they focus a lot on innovation and science behind it. So that's why also the quality is very, very high and very, very good, but the prices get quite low and good for the customer. So I think that's one really important thing when looking at why the export has been so successful, is that the quality is amazing and there are fun and innovative products, but the price doesn't have to be so high. It's still very affordable.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sofia. And I also think that K-beauty brands attempts also to often create and talk to their customers in a kind of easygoing and funny way, which makes it interesting and attractive for customers.
Yeah.
I mean, Nordic brands, not just beauty brands, but in general, often speaks and makes content in a more minimalistic way, with a lot of white and neutral colors, which is quite the opposite in general to K-beauty. So I think that makes it also stands out.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll touch upon the design and packaging later on, but I wanted to start with something that I think Korean cosmetics kind of started, and now it grows as a standard for the whole beauty industry, which is being natural. Because for me, as an average customer, Korean cosmetics appear natural, and I think they grew popular because of their naturalness. Using specific ingredients and marketing on these ingredients, like green tea or ginseng, for example. Do you think that this is important for today's customers, and that's something other brands can learn from Korean brands?
Absolutely, I think so. Our customers are very aware and interested in ingredients and production as well. They want to know about different ingredients, how they affect your skin, and also about the production, that everything is fair. So yeah, we're seeing a big demand for vegan products, for example.
Yeah. And for example, for our customers, it's really important that our products are made cruelty free. So that kind of, that it's very like many botanical ingredients and vegan. It's definitely a trend that many customers, especially in the Nordics and Europe, are very keen on following.
Yeah.
And what kind of ingredients you would say are now trending? You see them more and more in different cosmetics, if you could mention a few.
We actually launched a new hair care brand this morning, which has snail essence in the hair products. Snail essence or snail extract. Snail essence extract is something that's very, very common in skincare, and now we have it in hair care as well. So definitely those like fun, a little bit weird ingredients are very, very popular. But as you said, tea tree is always a hit. Propolis, we have a lot of products with propolis, which is very, very popular as well. What more can we say?
Also, kombucha. It's really
Kombucha,
trending.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, you're hitting all the trending ingredients. Yeah, and fermented products. I think that's kind of related with kombucha. Christina
Yes.
mentioned. I think that's a big trend now appearing in the beauty industry, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
definitely.
We have an
Oh.
essence with vegan kombucha, and it's a real top seller at GLOWID
Yeah.
and at our retailers. So that's really nice to see.
All right. Sophia, you mentioned something that is also very interesting to me, and I'm sure to people that are watching, because you mentioned Korea is famous for its beauty routine, which, from my understanding, seems complicated and it seems like it takes a lot of time, but also requires a lot of products. So, how does it refer to the trend that people want to have less things and they want to use less things? Isn't that kind of against this minimalism in how many products I'm using daily?
I understand the question, and that the Korean skincare routine is complicated is a very common misconception. There is this 10-step routine, which is like the base and which we can take inspiration from. But in the end, Korean skincare is just about creating the routine that fits your skin and your time and the season and the weather you're in. So it doesn't matter if it's 2 products or 5 or 20, as long as it fits your skin and the time that you can put on your routine, then that's good. So the 10-step skincare routine, it's only for inspiration and to show where the different products should fit in the routine. So you definitely don't need a lot of products. I think you can come a really, really long way with just a good cleanser, maybe a toner or a mist, and then a cream. And many of the Korean skincare products are also multifunctional. So, for example, we have a night mask from Cosrx, which you can also use as a cleanser. And we have a serum that is like a day cream during summer. For example, one of our best sellers, Supper Preparation Facial Toner from Claire's. If you layer it, which is the 7 skin method called in Korea, you layer it for 7 steps, for example, after cleansing and before cream. Then it's like a toner, essence, and serum in just one product. So I definitely don't think it has to be a lot of products. It just has to be the right products for you.
All right, that sounds easy when you're explaining it, but then when I'm reading about it online, it's like, oh, what do I choose? And you already started mentioning different product types, which I think is great because you mentioned a few popular product types, but Korean cosmetics or Korean brands producing the cosmetics are famous for some products more than the others, and they actually launched on the global markets some products like for example, BB cream. There wasn't BB cream before K beauty came in. So what are the most popular product types that K beauty is famous for and is really good with making?
I would say, as you said, SPF and BB creams. And also often they combine together. So as Sophia mentioned, they are often multifunctional. So for example, a BB cream or a CC cream, you often get like a primer, light foundation or BB cream, and SPF in one. So I think that's a really big product. And SPF overall, not only just in BB cream or CC cream, is really big in Korea. In general, you use SPF all year round in Korea, both for men and women. So it's really common and a whole different thing using SPF over there than what it is here. So that's
Yeah, that is true. And based on your experience and what you're doing at GLOWID, what are your best sellers? What kind of products are best selling?
Of course, it depends a lot on season and the weather. Now we have a really, really cold climate, so we're selling a lot of thicker serums and creams with ceramides, for example. But I think always toners and essences are top sellers from us. The consistency and the formula is so nice, and as I said before, it can be, depending on how many layers you put on, it can be both a toner, an essence, and a serum. So, and that when we launched 5 years ago, a toner, like just a facial toner, was like a new type of product. It's just just a lot of hydration to your skin. It doesn't have to be so complicated. So it's a really easy product for the one who hasn't tried K-beauty before and just want to add something new. So I think that's definitely one of our best sellers.
Okay, I have to ask about the masks because like all the facial masks are for me like when I go into a store and I look into cosmetics, I think there is like a whole separate stand for different Korean masks, like sheet masks or like cream masks, like lots of them. So yeah, are they really popular or like what's your take on this?
They
Yeah,
are.
I think everyone thinks of a sheet mask when they think
Okay.
of K-beauty. I think that's the first thing that pops up in their mind. But yes, of course, there are products that doesn't have the good quality as well, but the products we sell are really, really good. And I think it's important just to find out which ingredients to look for. Some people really, really want vitamin C and propolis in their masks, or they want something with mud that's just deeply cleansing, or they want niacinamide and vitamin E. And I think that's really important to have in mind when looking for new products, just to kind of navigate in the jungle of products and see if you see those types of ingredients, then it should fit your skin.
All right. Christina, what about you and masks? Is it like a love relationship? Are you using them? Can you recommend any?
Yes. I'm always masking several times a week. Sheet masks is a favorite. I have a bunch in my freeze, so they are cold and calming when I use them. So yeah, of course I use and like them.
All
And
right.
sheet mask is my favorite.
Okay. I mean, masking, that's even a verb. Loving it. Um, Yeah, I think it's the first time I'm hearing someone using it, loving it. Okay, we already covered, the ingredients, the different types of products, but obviously I would like to call out a couple of brands that you think are, good to follow if, let's say, I'm a beauty brand owner myself. What are the brands that I should be looking out for because they're doing their products good, they're well doing their marketing, and it's just a brand that I can look up to.
I think
I would say,
the
yeah, so Josefia.
yeah, I think the first brand we started to sell was Claire's, and after that by Wish Trend. And Wish Trend in Korea is such a big company and such a big brand. So and they do a lot of content and a lot of really good content on both Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. So for inspiration, I would definitely say look at them. They are doing a really, really good job. But I would say there are so many Korean brands that do amazing content, and the brands that we sell work a lot on educating the customer. So just look at glowid.se and find out which brands and start searching and Googling and looking at Instagram. Yeah, what other brands do we have for inspiration, Christina?
Yeah, I mean, I would also say Lador, the hair care brand we launched today. I think they
Yeah.
have some great potential. And also, as not only for us, it's our first hair care brand. But I think you can see that customers are longing for to taking better care of your hair as well as your skin. So, yeah, I think it's a gap on the market with great hair care. So therefore, I would say Lador, for example.
Take notes if you have a cosmetic brand. Hair is something you should be taking care of, and hair products you should be launching. Okay, I mean, yeah, I know some of the brands you mentioned. Clarice is one of them. I actually had their C vitamin serum. It was quite nice, and I really enjoyed the packaging because it was
Yeah.
very simple and it has like a little hologram or something on the label. So it's simple but with a nice touch. And obviously, at Pack Hope we do packaging. So I need to ask you about the packaging. What are some unique features for the Korean cosmetics packaging? You already mentioned something at the beginning that sometimes it's fun, but also minimalistic. So if you could tell us a little bit more about the K beauty packaging and what makes it unique and appealing for customers.
I think, as we said, the packaging can be so different depending on brands. It can be both fun and very, very colorful, and then also very minimalistic, even if it's still Korean. But I think at least all the brands really try to bring a feeling and a sense of the brand in the packaging. They all put a lot of effort in the packaging. It shouldn't just be about buying a product. It should be about buying an experience and receiving like a really, really nice experience. So I think that's very common for all Korean brands. And if you look at our packaging, we do a bit more colorful and animations and play around with that more fun feel to it, which works really, really good in Sweden, where everything should be minimalistic and black and white. So we really stand out, I think, with our own packaging.
Yeah. And also, of course, we're very interested in adding more eco-friendly packaging, and
Yes.
also our what would you say?
Our brands.
Yeah, they are also very keen into adding more. So that's really nice.
Yeah. I think in Sweden, in the Nordic countries, and in Europe, we are very regarding all the recyclable packaging and packaging. We have come a long way. In Korea, they are a little bit behind, so it's nice to see that they are working more and more on that as well.
Yeah, we have Clear,
Okay.
for example, they have like a whole guide on their website how um, to take care of your whole
And
packaging.
recycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the bottle to the box. So that's very nice.
Yeah, it's important to not only produce the packaging, but also educate your customers on how to interact with it and how to recycle it correctly. It's good to hear that more and more brands globally are doing that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that there is no like one theme for Korean packaging, for Korean cosmetics packaging, and I totally get that because the market is very saturated. There are a lot of brands who appeal to different audiences. But if you could try to think about one product packaging, and I mean about everything, like maybe a bottle or maybe a label or just the box that really stood out, and if you could tell us a little bit about one specific example that you really enjoyed when it comes to packaging and some Korean cosmetic.
Yeah, I think our brand Clear overall has really nice packaging. They are very minimalistic, more to the Nordic way, maybe. But they are very nice, and you get this luxurious feeling when you get a product. So it's easy and very nice. Not so much work into it as you can see, but it feels really nice when you receive it. So I prefer them.
Sophia, what
I
would
would
be your choice?
I would say Dr. Shirako, which is one of our brands as well. They have, I think, the perfect mix between colorful and a lot of information on the packaging while keeping it very minimalistic as well, and yeah, they are the perfect mix. And even if they launch new product lines or new products, you can in a long way see that it's Dr. Circle in the packaging. So they really tend to keep like a red thread through their whole design.
Okay, I hope whoever is listening us, you're taking notes because these were the examples that you can follow and you can look up their packaging online and for sure get inspired. Now, to kind of wrap it up, obviously, if there will be any questions, we're happy to take them. But I want to finish, with a few trends that beauty brand owners can take into consideration and think after this discussion. Because obviously, like, you probably won't have any breakthrough idea after 30 minutes discussion, but you can have this aha or light bulb moment, as I like to call them, when you'll be like, okay, I should think about it more. So I will just pinpoint a few things that already were mentioned here. And one was being natural and using natural ingredients, for sure, a big trend that all beauty brands can learn from and should actually live up to. Second is this multifunctionality. I think Sophia was mostly talking about it. We want cosmetics that do a bunch of things because we're busy people. And yes, and those are like the two big trends that I think we all can learn from K beauty. Would you say there's something else that maybe we kind of mentioned a little bit, but really didn't go into details? What would be the other big things we could learn from Korean brands? I know it's a
I
big
think
question. It's a big ask. The responsibility is on you, Sophia.
yes. No, but I definitely think not taking the products or the routine too seriously, not forcing the customer to have all 7, 8 products from the same brand, just trying to encourage them to and educate them to take care of their skin. And as long as the products has a really, really good quality, you can still promote it in a fun and casual way that makes the customer really understand the products. So it can still be very, very fun to get to know about it. It doesn't have to be so serious.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sophia. I think that's the common misunderstanding about K-beauty, as we said before, that it should be so very complicated. So yeah, I think so as well. Educate and try to do it in a fun and easygoing way.
Yeah.
Should
And
be.
also K-beauty is a lot about not harming your skin with too strong acids or other ingredients. For example, we don't have any retinol products in our assortment. Not that it's a bad ingredient, it's just that it can be like irritate your skin, and that's a big no-no in Korean skincare. So just to keep in mind that the most important thing is to just moisturize and keep your skin balanced and hydrated. It can be enough with a cleanser and a toner and a cream. You don't have to have 7 different acids, and you don't have to use retinol when you're 18. Just use a really, really good cleanser and toner and cream, and think about your skin in the long term and not in short terms.
Yes, do this. Yeah, I think as we age, and I mean it in like the most positive way, I think we all learn as women to chill down a little bit about our, routines and beauty and how we take care of ourselves, which is great, I think. Now, this will be the last question and wrap up. If someone who's just thinking about starting a beauty brand or a personal care brand is listening to us, what would be one piece of advice you would give to them about, launching a new brand on the market, creating a new product?
That's a tough
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I didn't promise easy questions. Also, I didn't promise we'll, stick strictly to the script. But I think you have a great experience because you don't work only with one brand. You have the whole portfolio of brands. Hence, you have a more comprehensive overview on the market. And also, you don't sell to one market. You actually have the whole region, and you go even beyond that. So I think if there is a right person to kind of answer this and give advices, that would be probably you. Now, again, no pressure, but one piece of advice from you to potential brand owners out there, beauty brand owners. I keep on forgetting to add beauty to it.
Yeah, I would say like investigate the market really, really good before, to try to see what's missing and try to focus on that. I think that has been one of the keys for GLOWID's success. We're not trying to grow really, really fast, but to take it slow and to just add both brands and products that we really can stand for and that we've been trying ourselves, and that products that we really love and want to use
Yeah.
ourselves.
And I would also say that always have the customer in focus, no matter if it's how you create content and how you respond on social media, but also regarding your customer service or when you create campaigns, always, or when you create boxes or bundles, always have the customer in focus, because I think that's also one of our reasons for success, is that our customer service and our connection to the customers have always been so important for us. So yeah, always have that in mind.
Yeah, and I think that is something that goes way beyond a particular market or a particular beauty trend, and even beyond Korean cosmetics is probably universal for an industry at large. Probably for just generally running a business, if you ask me. But yeah, it was very great to hear your perspectives, learn a little bit about K beauty with you. And for those of you who haven't checked GLOWID online, make sure to do so because they have amazing Instagram. You can draw a lot of inspiration from looking at it in how to actually run a successful communication, how to prepare beautiful visuals to tell stories about your cosmetics and products you're selling. So make sure to go and check GLOWID online. Christina and Sofia, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure chatting with you. And yeah, until the next time, I guess.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks. Bye.